Welcome to day 9. Okay, so today I wanted to share a little bit more about some of my thoughts and experiences of yesterday. Simeon never had any seizures, which was great, but I went through some serious turmoil over the possibility of maybe, and a lot of worry and fear, things like that. So today I was reading President Monson's talk from 1998 titled Look to God and Live. And he said he went with his family to Disneyland and they were at Splash Mountain. And he said that there's a small sign. And he said it declared a profound truth. And I'm thinking at Disneyland. And the truth was, you can't run away from trouble. There's no place that far. And he talked about how, that is our probationary state. That is mortality. That is the opposition in all things. And then he said something else a little bit further down in his talk. He said, when the pathway of life takes a cruel turn, there is a temptation to ask, why me? Self-incrimination is a common practice even when we have no control over a difficult situation. Now, I was talking to Brent yesterday and he said, honey, how are you doing? I said, I'm really stressed. I feel a lot of anxiety over this. And he said, well, what are you feeling? I said, well, the feeling is that it's my fault. He said, what's your fault? I said, I feel like it's my fault. It's my fault that Simeon's sick and that if he has seizures, that's my fault too. I said, why is that your fault? I don't know. I should have been more righteous, or I should have obeyed better, or I should have read more, or I should have been smarter, or maybe I should have done or not done something while I was pregnant, blah, 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 right? The list is going on in my head. He just looks at me and he said, well, that sounds like something you should address in your next video. Okay, thanks. So I didn't address it yesterday, but I am going to address it today, especially because President Monson talks about it in this talk of self-incrimination. Why do we do that? I can't tell you how many times I've heard it, not just from myself, but from a myriad of people. Something goes wrong in their life, whether it's divorce or death or illness or sickness, whatever it is. We think, I screwed up. I wasn't enough. I wasn't enough. Well, newsflash, you aren't enough. And I'm not enough. And newsflash, we did screw up. We probably did do things that we aren't supposed to do. It's okay. We're not going to be perfect. And we're not going to do it the right way. Whether or not that means that that's the cause of whatever tribulation or ailment is there, I don't know. Possibly. But I think the overarching thing is, I don't think God punishes us into obedience. That's coming back to understanding the character of God, right? So there is agency, there is choice, and there is accountability, and there is natural consequences. And sometimes there's just life. And one of those scriptures is in John. And this is the disciples with Jesus. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from birth. And the disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? And Jesus answered, neither this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him, that the works of God will be manifest in him. No one did anything wrong. This man was blind just to show forth the glory of God. That is the character of God. And you can bet that that man, his faith in God and in Jesus Christ as his healer and savior is solid. Not just because he experienced a miracle, but because he experienced how he was the tool to bring forth that miracle in other people's conversion. So, sometimes we don't know, but I think more importantly, we do mess up, and we do make mistakes, and it is going to be our fault. And sometimes, in fact, all the time, we aren't enough. We can't do it on our own. We can't do it by ourselves. We're not going to be enough. But thank goodness Christ is. So let's look to him and live. Good night.